It's a picturesque afternoon for football in the Northeast, and EA Sports comes to you from MetLife Stadium just across the Hudson River from New York City. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Las Vegas Raiders and the New York Giants. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Throwing on first down. Glenn, he'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
38.
Off play action. Glenn. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. 7 yards there and a first down. The Giants hit 3-0 here in the month of September. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On first and 10. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. And gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another first and 10 here. Back to throw. Glenn. The throw for Toney is intercepted. Picked off by Troy Pride. And the Raiders are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. He finds his man complete. That's Jacobs. So he stopped for no gain. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Up the middle with Barkley. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. And they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Give that sack to the linebacker, Jayon Brown. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender down to the back.
Ready to roll for the 2nd quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation.
Let's go. Six, mega. Fly blue. Edo blue.
Looking to throw. Glenn, he's going to float this one deep right side. He's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 37 yards. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
Ready?
On first down, Glenn. That one caught downfield by Howard. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Called out a very strong gain of 24. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Giants go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Extra point try good by Gano. And it's now a 7-0 game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Oh, look at the juke. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there. Quick throw out to Adams on the perimeter. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. the gun, Bridgewater. Looking deep for Adams. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Off the play fake. Glenn. And he finds Howard complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Here we go.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. On 3rd down, Glenn. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
I believe this is what you would call growing pains here, partner, because this defense obviously took the challenge facing the rookie, and they wanted to help indoctrinate him to the NFL. So now the big question is, can he answer that challenge and rebound with plenty of time remaining in this game?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Counter play with Jacobs. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Two minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. He'll take it inside the 25.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. From the gun, Bridgewater. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a first and goal.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. Here's Jacobs. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And it'll be intercepted. Julian Love picks it, and the Giants are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That ball caught by Slayton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Back to throw. Glenn.
And that'll be caught by Tony. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Gano's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. Taken in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Play action now. Bridgewater. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. DeJuan Smoot getting in there, recording the sack.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing is Bridgewater.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
Barkley, inside handoff. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off play action. Glenn. Throw left side complete. That's Howard.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Well, maybe that's the spark that they needed here, Charles. Trailing, but a big block. We'll see if that swings the momentum a bit.
You mentioned the word spark. I'm just wondering, as they went off the field and the offense was coming out, did one of those special teams members say, hey, obviously we haven't given up on this one. We've given you a little bit of a spark. What are you going to do with it?
Bridgewater on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen.
Oh, and Bridgewater intercepted for the 3rd time. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football.
Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he's got some space here.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 64 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Giants take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Gano the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Bridgewater. Looking deep for Adams. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Bridgewater now. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Steps away to his left. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Bridgewater. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. Second and goal. Bridgewater again. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They'll run with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his second touchdown. Season, and the Raiders are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And it's 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. The 30. 10. 5. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Giants. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blower when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Extra point try good by Gano. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
But his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Julian Love. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Another solid game-changing play for this defense for the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. Ready. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it again with Barkley. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
To throw on 3rd down, Glenn. And this one is incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. There's Bridgewater. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Desperation time, 4th down, Bridgewater. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. So a big play there on 4th, and now 1st and 10 at the 30. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Bridgewater. And now here is another interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
A gain of 3, second down.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
Shot, 17.
Second down, here's Barkley again. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Looking to throw. Glenn. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Bridgewater. He's going to let it fly. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Throwing, Bridgewater. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. To throw, Bridgewater. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Giants, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,
they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets.